Hello and welcome to Locally Sourced. I'm Virginia Munoz. I'm sure you've seen the blue and gold signs for Carmel Rotary around town, but how many of you actually know what Carmel Rotary does? Today my guest is Eliot Scher, who will be telling us about Carmel Rotary and also Rotary International. Eliot was a teacher in White Plains for 37 years and has lived in Carmel since 2002. A member of Carmel Rotary for about 8 years, Eliot currently is president of Carmel Rotary. Welcome, Eliot.
It's a pleasure to be here.
I know that the motto for Rotary International is service above self. Can you briefly tell us the purpose of Rotary and also how you personally got involved in Rotary?
Every time I came into a community, be it Carmel or another community, I would see the Rotary gear, the Rotary logo. And I didn't necessarily know what Rotary was and what Rotary did. And moving into Carmel, coming to the end of my teaching career, I wanted very much to give back to the community, but it's not as easy to do that as one might think. Fortunately, in the process of buying our home, we met an individual who was part of Rotary and who invited me to a Rotary meeting, part of the Carmel Rotary Club, and I fell in love with Rotary. Rotary is an international, national, and local organization that does charitable work and is primarily known as a service organization, giving back to the community and internationally in many, many different ways. And one of so excited to be here today is to be able to talk about Rotary as a cheerleader for Rotary. So this is an exciting moment for me.
Well, I know as an educator for almost 40 years, you must have really enjoyed working with children. Does Rotary offer opportunities for people to interact with the students in the Carmel Public Schools?
Yes, it does. That piece was very special to me. Being an educator, you're giving back in many ways all the time in the classroom and out of the classroom. And becoming president of Rotary gave me an opportunity to see all the ways in which Rotary interacted with young adults from kindergarten up until high school. As a matter of fact, the high school group is known as Interact. That's the name of their group. And they give us an amazing amount of help. They help us with our food pantry program. They help us with the Shootout. They help us when we have harvest dinners. It is really an amazing group of very dedicated young adults. They are very successful academically and athletically, but the nicest part is how giving they are, how generous they are. And it's wonderful for me to be a part of that group and to thank them for the way in which they give back to the community.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. I know that Carmel Rotary has done some activities with the younger students as well at the elementary level. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, we have a literacy program, which I'm very happy to speak about because being a teacher, literacy has always been a very important part of what I do, what all teachers do. And this has been an ongoing program for us for years. We provided dictionaries for the students in the elementary schools. And the last couple of years, we've been working with the administrative staff at the Carmel Public Schools to find out where their needs might be. And the last couple of years, we donated books to the elementary schools that were used as part of their literacy program. And the books would be shared from classroom to classroom and highlighted important aspects of community development that the schools wanted the kids to be part of. And that, of course, that made us very happy.
And I believe some of the Rotarians actually go into the school, into the classrooms and read with some of their classes?
Yes, we do, and I love to do that because when you're a teacher, you're part of a school family all the time. When you retire from teaching, you miss that, and I wanted to be able to do that. So on occasion, we go into the elementary schools and we read with the kids, and that's so much fun.
Well, the Interact Club sounds like it's very active and very helpful to Rotary and to the community. Does Rotary offer scholarships for some deserving high school students?
Yes, we do. That's a very big part of what we do. The idea of Rotary is community involvement and being a service organization and a charitable organization. It's a two-way street. It's a symbiotic relationship. And so the more the kids help us, the more we're able to help them in terms of offering scholarships. I think last year we offered at least $6,000 or $7,000 in scholarships to the high school students. And in this last year, we started a scholarship for one student, sending them all the way through. So we were very directly involved in that, and we love to see the kids come through and come back and have a relationship with Rotary, and it makes us feel even more successful.
Well, that's really heartwarming to hear. In addition to the students in the public school system, I know Carmel Rotary does a lot of things to help adults in the community. Can you talk a little bit about the food pantry drive?
Absolutely. One of our Carmel Rotarians, George Natchell, has been in Rotary for more than 30 years, has made the food pantry program his life's work. And we do as much as we can to support George and the food pantry program. Every week we pick up food donated at local supermarkets. So we have a wonderful relationship with ShopRite and their manager Bob Gillick and assistant manager Nicole Peace. We pick up food from ShopRite and we deliver the food to local food pantries. Mm-hmm. And several times a year, George organizes Fill the Truck programs.
Oh.
And this coming April 29th and 30th, I want all our viewers to know that we're going to have a Fill the Truck program at ShopRite. And it's an opportunity for all of their shoppers, all of their customers to donate food. And George and Carmel Rotarians and kids from Interact will be there helping to fill the truck and provide food for those that are needy. And I'm so proud to say that we have provided hundreds of thousands of meals to individuals in the Carmel and Putnam area. And personally, I would say to you, there's no greater feeling as an individual and a Rotarian to make sure that people who are undernourished and who need food get it. And seeing that happen is just a wonderful feeling.
I totally agree with you. If you're hungry, I mean, what else matters? You know, that you just need to take care of that first. So I'm really impressed with all of the activities Carmel Rotary is doing within Carmel. Could you please talk about Carmel Rotary's involvement with Judge Jim Reetz's drug treatment court program?
We are so proud of our relationship with Judge Reetz and the drug treatment court for so many reasons. There are individuals in our society who become addicted, seriously addicted with some very dangerous substances, and their lives go awry. They are charged with serious crimes. Their lives could be seriously altered in a very negative way with long prison terms, serious felonies. And Judge Reetz's drug treatment court gives these individuals an opportunity to resurrect their lives. There are very stringent rules and regulations that the drug treatment court imposes. These individuals have to deal with their addiction and escape from their addiction. And where Carmel Rotary comes in, we provide diplomas for those individuals who graduate from drug treatment court. And I can tell you on those occasions, I've been to the graduations. I sit in a gallery. I watch Judge Reetz commend and congratulate these people. In the audience, you have brothers and sisters and fathers and grandmothers and children to see the resurrection of a life that has been saved from drug addiction. And Judge Reetz will come down from the bench, put his arm around the graduates, shake their hands, kiss them, and tell them how proud he is of all of these individuals. And as Rotarians, we couldn't be happier to see that. And I'm very proud to tell our viewers that Judge Reetz is a member of Carmel Rotary.
Wow, that's really fantastic. In addition to the Judge Reetz program, one of the events that I enjoy so much is the annual Rotary basketball shootout. And I know that's been a very successful event for Rotary. Could you talk about that?
I sure will. Even more successful this year. One of our most wonderful, most veteran members, Al Triciano, brought back the Carmel Rotary Shootout about 10 years ago. So this shootout was our 10th anniversary, and we made Al our honoree because of the amazing work that he does. Every year for the last 10 years, we've raised more money for the community than previous years. And this year, when we had our first meeting, we discussed what our goal would be. And since I was the president, my hand shot up in the air. I said, let's shoot for $50,000. And everybody said, yeah. Of course, that was a bit of a daunting number. But we made it. We
Wow.
raised $50,000 this year. We had over 130 shooters, folks who come into the gym at Carmel High School to see how many baskets they can make in a 2-minute period. And we offered help to charitable and service organizations, more than 40 of them, and almost every single dollar that comes in is given out to those charitable and service organizations. And I would like your viewers to know, in particular, that Rotary is one of those organizations where if you donate to Rotary, if you donate to a Carmel Rotary activity, if you donate to Rotary International, almost every single dollar that you donate goes directly to the people in need. And I love to say that. I love to tell people all about Rotary and how that works, because being a cheerleader for Rotary makes me feel good. So we had great success this year.
And that's an amazing thing to know, because so many organizations don't donate as high a percentage as Rotary. So thank you for letting us know about that. Another one of my favorite Rotary activities is the annual Harvest Fest dinner held in the fall. Could you talk about that?
I would love to talk about that too. It's part of the fun of Rotary to talk about all of these events. Our annual dinner, which is an interaction between the Rotary Club and the community of Carmel, is held at George's Restaurant, right opposite Lake Oneida. And we have an evening activity where we have a wonderful dinner. This past dinner was a chili dinner. And we invite all the members of the community to come in. All of the proceeds or profits go to scholarships. We used to call it Fish and Chips, which was held in the spring, but we felt that it was a little bit too close to the basketball shootout, which is such an important focus for us.
And that's held in March, generally?
That's held in March, that's correct. And we wanted to highlight the dinner, and so one of our members, a woman that I love very deeply, Connie Fagan, said, how about calling it the Harvest Fest? Because it's the fall and everybody loves the harvest time. So we called it, the Harvest Fest dinner. And we held it in October, and it really is fun. It's pumpkins and chili and pumpkin pie and all of that stuff. And we had music provided this year by the Acme Trio, led by our very famous Carmel Rotarian, Bob Gentili, who's an expert on the bass. And we had music, we had great food. All of the Rotarians serve as waiters and waitresses. It's great to see lawyers and judges and sheriffs and teachers and accountants serving as waiters and waitresses, and we have a ball. So look for that. Hopefully we're going to do it again this fall. Look for that, and all the viewers are invited to come.
And I went to that this past year, and I believe that in addition to Bob Gentili's wonderful music, you also had musicians from the high school.
We love to do that. We invited musicians from the high school, in addition to the Interact kids that help at the Harvest Fest dinner. And the kids from the high school are fantastic. They're very, very talented musicians and singers, and it was just great to see them perform. The music director of the high school was there, and it's wonderful to have that relationship with the kids in the high school. As an ex-teacher myself, I love to see that.
Of course, yes. Now, you've given us so many wonderful examples of how Rotary helps people within Carmel, but I understand you also are involved in activities that help people outside of Carmel in different parts of the Hudson Valley. Could you talk about my cousin Vinny?
We have a relationship.
My brother Vinny.
My brother Vinny. I make that mistake all the time. Even when Paula Miratello of My Brother Vinny comes in, sometimes I'll make the mistake and say my cousin Vinny. We have a relationship with a most amazing woman. And part of the privilege of being president of Carmel Rotary is the associations I make with these absolutely phenomenal people. Paula Miratello started a charitable organization called My Brother Vinny several years ago to honor her brother who passed away. And what she does is assists in moving homeless veterans into homes. I would like to say that our government does a good job, an adequate job of providing for all our homeless vets, but we need to supplement what the government does. And when I have participated in some of Paula's move-in sessions, I see we come into the homes of veterans. They have an apartment which has been provided for them, but there's nothing in the apartment. They're sleeping on a bare floor. They don't have a table. They don't have furniture. They don't have plates and utensils. And Paula has made it her life's work on her own time, using her own resources, with donations from hotels and motels and from organizations like Rotary to assist in moving in these homeless vets. And Paula has moved in more than 400 homeless veterans on her own time. It's just an amazing story. So I hope that our viewers will go to mybrothervinny.org, You can Google Paula and My Brother Vinny, or you can go directly to mybrothervinny.org and take a look at what Paula does. And please support her organization because they're just a wonderful cause.
I know it's an excellent, excellent organization. I know that you mentioned, moved in over 400 vets, and this is on weekends because she has a full-time job as well, which is just amazing. Someone who is so dedicated and has so much energy to work a full-time job and do this as well.
Yes.
So yes, she is amazing. There's also a monthly hot lunch that Rotary is involved in.
Yes.
Could you talk about that?
We have a wonderful Rotarian who's our president-elect, Kevin Carroll, who was the principal of Carmel High School. And Kevin is very interested in having a regular food pantry, which we provide at the First Baptist Church in Brewster. I believe it's the last Tuesday of every month. And approximately 10 o'clock, Kevin gathers up some of our Rotarians. We go over and we start cooking. Between 11:30 and 12 o'clock, we have provided a free lunch for those who are in need. We have a sign right out there in front of the First Baptist Church, and we have 40 or 50 people that come in and take advantage of the free lunch. And that's one of my favorite programs too, because as I mentioned before with our food pantry, we get tremendous satisfaction from providing a lunch, and it's a hands-on activity. You see the gratitude in the eyes of the individuals. You see how important it is to them, and that's really what Rotary is all about. That's what giving back is all about. So I love that program, and Kevin's going to be president starting on July 1st. He's going to do a fabulous job.
I'm sure he will. I know Kevin as well. Rotary also operates, you mentioned earlier in our talk, he operates on Rotary operates on the international level. Mm-hmm. Could you talk a little bit about the ShelterBox program that Rotary participates in?
Rotary is an international organization as well as it is national and local. And regrettably, there are some events that occur around the world, be they hurricanes in Haiti, earthquakes in Italy, and it's necessary to reach out and assist because the Rotary clubs in those areas and the individuals and governments in those areas don't always have all the resources that they need. ShelterBox provides food and shelter and clothing, I believe, and our ability is to interact with ShelterBox so that when those disasters occur, we can have our board of directors authorize a donation, usually about $1,000, and that provides shelter for families and individuals who are in desperate need. As Americans, we don't always see that, but we know as Rotary, though we can't go there individually or collectively, we can send ShelterBox there, which is a great aid to those in need.
Absolutely. Also, I understand that Rotary has been very instrumental in eradicating polio.
Yes.
Could you talk about that?
There are over 1.3 million Rotarians around the world. There are 35,000 Rotary clubs. And we have set as part of our goal the eradication of polio. I remember in the 50s when I was in elementary school how fearful people were of contracting polio until Dr. Salk came up with his vaccine. And I am proud to say, as a member of Rotary, that we have practically eradicated the scourge of polio around the world. There are only a few dozen cases left in areas where it's very difficult to get to children and vaccinate them because of political instability, terrorist activity. But we have set as our goal that eradication. And hopefully this year, within the next year, we can say, with the help of Rotary, that we have eradicated polio on the planet Earth.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be great.
Also, I know Rotary has been instrumental in improving water quality around the world.
Yes. Sometimes we take for granted how easy it is to get clean and healthy water. I know as a Carmel resident, all we do is we turn on the tap or we have a bottle of water that we get from ShopRite. But around the world, there is a dearth of clean and healthy water. And you don't realize how serious it is and how impactful on the lives of individuals in those areas until you read about it, until you see it, and you understand that something has to be done. And so Rotary International, as part of the Rotary International Foundation, makes it as part of our responsibility to organize the provision of clean, healthy water for as many localities as we can.
Well, that really sounds wonderful. How can people learn more about the activities of Carmel Rotary?
We want them to learn as much about Carmel Rotary as possible. You can go to carmelrotary.org, which is our club runner site. You can go, of course, you can Google us, but make sure you say Carmel, New York, because there are other Carmels around the country. You can Google Carmel Rotary in New York, and you can go to our Facebook page. If you're on Facebook, type in Carmel Rotary of New York. And you'll see some of our activities, and you'll have access to information with regard to getting involved. And we hope you do, because the more involvement we have, the more members we have doing good and having fun, the better our community will be. So we encourage everybody to do that.
All right. Well, I thought I already knew a lot about Rotary, but you taught me much more today. So, Eliot, thank you so much for taking time to tell us about Carmel Rotary and the Rotary activities, not just in Carmel, but in the Hudson Valley and also around the world. I'm sure our viewers are very appreciative as well. And I also want to thank our wonderful volunteer crew here at Channel 8, who's been doing such a fabulous job today. So until next time, this is Locally Sourced.